Hello, 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 everyone. Give us 1 second so we can share this out. So as you come in, please share this out for us. Please share this out. Give me one more second. Let's start this. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Deborah, do you see us? Do you see us?
I see you and me.
Okay, awesome. I don't know why I don't see it on my end. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. I don't know why my computer. Okay, there it is. I see this. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. Welcome, 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 everyone, to Bald Life Magazine. My name is Jamie Elmore. I am the editor-in-chief. I am your alopecia confidence coach. And for my babies, I am their alopecia auntie. I am so excited to be here. It's a pleasure. I don't take it lightly. I'm excited to have my guest on with us on tonight. And let me tell you guys a little bit about Bald Life Magazine. Bald Life Magazine is a platform for men, women, and children that are bald due to alopecia, cancer, medically induced, or simply by choice. This platform is for them to share their stories, to stand in their truth, and to unapologetically rock their crown. And I believe that this is the only platform out there like this where we have created a community, a safe community for people to just share their journeys. Because a lot of people that are not living with alopecia or any type of hair loss, they don't have a clue what it's like to walk in our shoes. And so I wanted to create something that was safe. I wanted to create a platform for people to heal. And so let me tell you a little bit about alopecia. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease. It's where your immune system attacks your hair follicle and causes your hair to fall out. There are 6.8 million people in the US, 147 million people worldwide that have this disease. Now, it's not contagious, so you won't catch it standing next to someone that has it. But one thing I can tell you about alopecia, it doesn't discriminate, meaning that it can happen to anybody, any man, woman, or child, any gender, and any race. It does not matter. Alopecia just shows up. It's rude, actually. It don't have no manners, okay? It'll bump you, it just interrupts your life. And so I just want to have a conversation around it. And I want to give people an opportunity to understand that there are so many people dealing with this disease. I just needed to share it again with one more group. So guys, give me one more second. Thank you, Deborah, for being patient. I'm going to share it in one more group because I don't want nobody to miss nothing that we're going to be talking about on today. Okay, there we are. Okay, awesome. So, Deborah, can I call you? Want me to call you Mama D?
Yes.
Or Deborah? Mama D? Okay, Mama D. I feel more comfortable calling you Mama D anyway, so I'm glad you said that I could do that. So how are you tonight?
I am well, thank you, and thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're doing well. You look absolutely beautiful. I love them earrings and those cute glasses that you're rocking on tonight.
Thank you.
You look absolutely amazing. And I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule.
Thank you.
To be here and to share your story. So what we're going to do, we're just going to jump right in and we're going to have a conversation. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, about your background, what kind of work that you do?
Well, right now I'm retired. I've been retired for several years now. I worked in a nonprofit humanitarian aid agency that gave service to third world countries. We train them in water harvesting and family planning and how to get crops from one part of the land to the other, how to get that water to water the crops, how to dig wells, all of that.
Wow. Wow, that's a whole nother conversation
Yeah, yeah.
that we could have to go
And
into detail about that. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so you have a family, you're married, do you have any kids?
I have a bunch of kids.
You do?
I'm a mother, a foster mother, a grandmother, and I mentor youths. So yeah, I got a bunch of kids.
Yeah, so it sounds like you wear a lot of hats as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Wow, that's awesome, Mama D. That's awesome. So, Mama D, can you kind of give us some backdrop? Um, Tell us what was going on in your life when you first noticed that your hair was falling out.
Well, I was a dancer. I danced with Dance Africa, Chuck Davis, Dance Africa Celebration, which is an annual celebration that happened at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. And it also happened in Chicago, Washington, D.C., Texas. You know, um, I did that. I was the artistic director for the spiritual part of the program, the opening. We opened the doorways for the ancestor, bringing the light. I did that. Um, I was a Lindy Hopper. I started off with Mama Lou Park's dances, and I was a Lindy Hopper in the Harvest Moon Ball. I did that for 3 years. Um, Dance was always a part of my life
Okay.
until I got started getting ill and in pain, and then uh, I couldn't dance anymore because of the leg pains and joint problems and things like that. So yeah.
So, so is that when you noticed your hair was falling out after you was dealing with all the pain in your body? Is that how it started?
It's yes, it started with the joint pains. I was just fatigued all the time, even though I was working. Um, every time I came home, I was just exhausted to the point that I would sit down with my coat on and fall asleep. That's how exhausting it was for me. And I went to bed one night and I woke up and I found like 5 locks on my pillow. And I was like, this only happened in cartoons. Like, what is going on here? So I had a big bald spot here. And, being a creative person that I am, I like sweep my locks to the side and
Mhm.
went on about my business. Didn't pay it no mind until a couple of weeks later, the same thing happened on the other side. And I'm like, now I need to go to the doctor because I was thinking maybe my husband gave me something or, I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, I went to the doctor and they tested me for everything. And every test that they gave me, it came back negative. And so now I'm thinking I got some incurable disease that can't be. So then they sent me to a specialist, and the specialist did a scalp biopsy. And when the test from the scalp biopsy came back, it said lupus was attacking my hair follicles, and I had alopecia areata,
Ariana.
areata.
Ariana. Okay.
And so that was devastating because now I got a bald spot here, a male balding pattern in the back, another bald spot over here. So then I had locks. So I had my husband cut the rest of the locks out of my hair. And I had a short, like Caesar cut where you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't, like, almost can't notice the bald spots. And I went to a party one night and this guy followed me around all night. Can I take your picture? Oh, you're so beautiful. You got the perfect shape head. I was like, Mister, please leave me alone. Until his wife came and
Mm-hmm.
she said that he is a photographer and he really wants to showcase your picture. Please come and take pictures. And when I saw the pictures that he took, I saw myself in a whole another light. And I was almost able to deal with not having hair, almost, not quite, but it was good. Then one day I got on the bus and I sat in front of two women who talked about me like I was not even on this bus. They
What do you
talked about,
mean?
they they said, "Oh, I'm sick of looking at these women dressing like men, cutting their hair off, um, wanting to have another woman." I mean, just went on and on like I was not there. And I'm looking around the bus to see if it's somebody else they talking about. And I know I'm the only bald head woman on the bus. To the point that I just had to get up off the bus. I got up, I cursed those two women out, lost every bit of religion that I thought I had. I lost it that day. I cursed them and I got off the bus and I broke down. I was on my way to work. And that was the first day that I was really going out with nothing on my head, trying to build up my confidence. And they just tore it down, tore it down.
So, that's a lot, Mama D. That's a lot. And you would think that women would have common sense to know, number one, they didn't have no place to say anything. And number two, I think we have to be more sensitive because you never know what a person's going through. And number three, you don't always got to voice it. I mean, who are we to uh, talk about somebody else? I mean, they were total strangers to you, and they felt comfortable enough to make those comments. That blows me away. That
I was,
blows me away.
I was so hurt. It just tore all what little confidence that I had built up enough to come out with nothing on my head. They just took it away. And when I got to work, I was in pieces. Like everybody was like, "What's wrong with you? Oh, you cut your hair, it looked nice." So, people was giving me compliments, but that still wasn't lifting me up the way I thought I could be. But
So, so Mama D, okay, so you start losing your hair.
mhm.
The locks started falling out. You started finding the bald spots. Um, you went to an event and met a man who was fond of what he saw, the beauty, him and his wife. And then you get on this bus and you meet these rude women. They make you feel horrible.
Mhm.
Tell me what what was the time frame? I mean, did you ever get to a point to where the doctor said you had alopecia, but did you ever get to a point to where I'm not going to say accepted it, but man, because there was so much going on. I mean, what took place to get you to the point to where you said, this is what I have? I mean, you didn't have time to even deal with it. I mean, kind of talk to us about that in between.
So the in between, um, I started writing every hurt, every discomfort, everything I hated. I withdrew from my family. I went into depression. So this happened over a period, over years. And one day, I'm going to say my foster daughter, although her mother and I were raised together. And she's like a child to me, but not really the foster ones like I have. But she was opening up the first tea room in Harlem. And
Okay.
she was at the house and she came across one of my books and she was like, "Ma, you write poetry?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I don't write no poetry. I don't even read. She said, "No, this is beautiful. You know I'm opening a tea room. Why don't you come and host poetry?" I said, "Girl, let me share something with you. I don't know nothing about hosting no poetry, and I ain't writing poetry. Okay. I'm writing down every hurt, every discomfort, everything that bothered me. That's what I was writing down. I didn't know I was writing poetry."
Mm.
But when she read what I had on the paper, it it gave a different light on what I was writing in this book. So
it it sounds like it sounds familiar, your story and your journey, because so many women deal with alopecia, not just women, but men as well, deal with alopecia, and it hits them unannounced,
mhm,
and it kind of takes you on a roller coaster ride because you don't have time to grieve. You don't have time to accept what's going on because number one, you're trying to figure out what is going on with me, you
mhm,
know? And so sometimes it just takes a while. I mean, you don't even, it can be years and years later before a person can get to the point to where they can accept and I don't accept what's going on with them. Some people it's fast, it's easy, no big deal. But like I tell everybody, everybody's journey is different. And that's why I think it's so important for us to share our stories because what happens is it's not only healing for ourselves, it's healing for the other person on the other end who's listening to our
mhm.
stories. And it sounds like for you, one of your healing tools, and you probably didn't even realize that it was your writing.
Yes.
You being able to write down what you were going through. And I think that's a key point for anybody listening to us is that anytime you're going through anything, I mean, if you can't talk it out, write it out. If you can't write it out, get you a tape recorder, okay? Get you a tape
Mhm.
recorder and talk about your feelings and your emotions. So you started writing, started doing poetry, and what took place on the inside of you once you started doing your poetry um, as it concerns your alopecia and just what was going on in your life? What took place for you?
So the poetry that I was writing was, I'm going to say it was the prescription that I needed to help me heal.
Come on.
And
Mm,
thinking back, like it didn't just help me, it helped other people, even if they didn't have hair loss. It didn't matter what you was going through, but it helped them to heal. And people would tell me, I have a signature piece that I was doing a lot. Every show that I opened up, I did this signature piece.
mm,
And people would say, thank you for sharing that. It makes me look at my life a little different because it's not always a hair loss. Depression is depression.
amen.
Okay. And it hits everybody differently. And if
Yes.
I can help somebody heal, I think that's my calling, to help somebody heal.
Mm,
Um,
wow. That's powerful. And excuse me, everyone, for wiping my nose, because one thing that happens with some people with alopecia is there's
mhm.
different types of alopecia. I have alopecia universalis, basically, where I've lost all my body hair and I've lost my nose hair. So sometimes out of the blue, my
It
nose
just,
can just start running and, just happens. So
mhm.
that's the reason why I'm wiping my nose. I'm not sick or anything. But, you make me, you bring something back to my mind, and I talk to people all the time and I tell them that our story is not our story. Our story is for someone else. I
Yeah.
don't care what we go through, what we're going through, what we've been through, when we have overcome, or even if we haven't overcome, even in the midst of going through what we're going through, we can bring healing to somebody else. And it sounds like that's what you were able to do with your poetry piece. I want to go off the grid a little bit, Mama D,
Hmm.
and I would love for you to read us a piece of your poetry, if you don't mind.
Um, okay. This is a piece I did back with Unveiled Unlocked. And this piece is called Redemption. Redemption. The step ladder to redemption was salvation for me. As I escaped to a place where my writing set me free, I was lost in the wilderness, right in my home, in a place where I felt all alone. Diagnosed with an illness, unwell and in pain, withdrew from my family, I had to abstain. Let my pen bleed words of anguish and grief, inscribing poetry beyond my belief. Didn't like my appearance of being hair free, felt masculine, manly, didn't look feminine to me. Wouldn't look in the mirror because it made me cry, saddened and discouraged, and I wanted to die. I battled depression for so many years. It took courage and bravery as I cried rivers of tears. Only God's grace and mercy sent down with his love made me realize everything I am worthy of. Redemption? Redemption has so many meanings to set me free. It's liberating, it's releasing, taking recovery up a degree. It's restoring and renewing, and it's a cure to heal mind, body, and spirit, renewing my life wheel. Open your heart and set your spirit free. Believe it could help you just like it helped me. Redemption.
Woo, Mama D. Thank you. That's deep.
Thank you.
That is so, so deep. And what you shared, like you said, it's not just for people that have alopecia or hair loss.
Right.
The words that you shared can be applied to anybody, anybody, anybody. And that's what makes it so powerful. And you said a word, you said mirror, looking in the mirror. And that happens to be the title of one of my pieces that I wrote when I was going through my alopecia journey as well. So writing, I think it's everything. It is a lifesaver. Saver, yeah, it's a lifesaver and it's healing. And so
Yeah.
that's just amazing. But let me ask you, how was your husband's response to you concerning uh-oh uh-oh uh-oh
Okay, go ahead.
okay, how was this is good then, are you okay to talk about it? How was his response when it came to you losing your hair? What did he say? Was he supportive?
It wasn't just, he knew I was sick and he was angry because he said, and this didn't come right away. This came after he went and researched what lupus was. And he came back to me and said, the reason why I was so angry and I didn't like the fact that you lost all your hair and you didn't look womanly, it wasn't that. It was that I was afraid of everything that I love, I lose.
Wow.
So.
But that's so important to know, because so many men have women, their wives, that lose their hair and they feel like they don't have any control. Like you said, they're scared, and they're dealing with their own grief and loss when it comes to their wife. You're not the woman that they married. You're not the woman that looks like the woman that that they married from years ago. And literally it can change in a matter of minutes and overnight. And so I'm glad that your husband was able to finally come to you and talk with you and support you through your journey. What are some things that he does for you now to support you? Yes.
Girl, I got to cook in the house. He cooked every night. He don't even want me in the kitchen. I'll be like, I'm gonna lose my cooking skills if you don't let me cook. But he cooks. He supports me. Any event that I'm doing or any event that I do with Unveiled Unlocked, he's right there, forefront. Photography. Him and I are now doing art installations. So we install art in art galleries. So yeah, we work.
Now look, wow. Now look at how this alopecia and lupus has caused you and your husband to come even closer,
Closer.
you know, to work together, to support one another, to build each other up, and how your husband made a decision to just step up. You know, you guys aren't playing the role game, you know, meaning you're the woman, you do all the cooking and you do all the X, Y, and Z. You're the man, you do all the X, Y, and Z. He just said, you know what, I'm gonna cook and I'm gonna do whatever I want to do and what I need to do to ease the load for my wife. And so I have to take my hat off to your husband and to thank him
I'm gonna
for
tell
being
him
supportive.
this. So.
Yes, and hopefully, is he on Facebook? Hopefully, he can go back and look at this later. No,
No, he's not on Facebook, but I will show it to him.
okay, okay, good. It'll be good to get his feedback. So
Feedback.
just amazing. Now, tell me, did is there anybody else in your family? Because they say sometimes alopecia can be hereditary, even autoimmune diseases. Is there anybody else in your family that's dealing with any type of autoimmune, especially alopecia?
So I'm not sure about alopecia, but I do know that lupus is in my family. On my mother's side of the family, I have uh, several cousins, and I did not know this until my daughter said, let's do the lupus walk several years ago. And when I was asking for donations, that's when I found out family members had lupus because I did not know that. So
Wow.
this just happened maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm. So, so what year was it that you started losing your hair? How long ago was that when this all started?
1995, 96.
Really?
Yep.
So, what year was it when you decided to totally shave your hair off? When you said, "Forget it, I'm just gonna shave all of it off."
Um, my mother died in 99. So I'm going to say about 1999, maybe 2000. Yeah, around there.
So you've been rocking your crown for a long time.
Mhm.
Wow.
And back then, you didn't see women walking around with no hair. So women would look at me, but the brothers were the one to say, "Sister, you got a strong willpower, because everybody can't wear no hair like that."
Mm, mm.
So I got more compliments from men than I did my sisters. My sisters did not really support me. But it's funny because I'm gonna say in 2012, maybe 2012, 2013, I got on the bus going to work,
Hmm.
and it was a sister on the bus, and she came to me and she said, "Excuse me, can I ask you a few questions?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Is your hair choice by choice, or is it due to illness?" And so I told her my story, and she asked me to come and do a photo op with them. But the time to do the photo op was the same time I was doing Dance Africa. And so I didn't get to do it. But she invited me to one of the meetings, and that's when I joined Unveiled Unlocked back in 2013.
Wow. So talk to
And
us
so
about, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead and
I
finish.
was going to
Sorry.
say Unveiled Unlocked are Barehead Brothers and Barehead Sisters. And that organization support women and men the same as you're doing.
Wow. You guys been doing it for way much longer than what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is amazing. Are most of your members in New York, or are they nationwide?
Most of them are in New York. We are all spread out now. And if anybody's on from Unveil, peace, y'all. But yeah, they're spread out through the states. And
Wow, that's awesome. Alethea Brown, she is on. She's been dropping comments and supporting you from the beginning of this interview. So she's definitely on. I'm supporting you. So if you could give some words of wisdom to a woman that has lost their hair or losing their hair, either due to alopecia, cancer, lupus, it don't matter. What words of wisdom or advice would you give to them?
first of all, I feel that whether you're ill or not, you need to learn your body. You need to know what you put in your body that makes you feel good and what makes you feel ill.
Mm.
And when you learn your body, whether you're taking medicine or taking a drink or smoking a joint, whatever you're doing, you need to know how that makes you feel. Because this way you can tell your doctors certain things. Like I told my doctor, I was like, this medicine makes me feel sicker when I take it than when I don't take it. So can you please give me something that is non-steroid to
Mm.
take?
Mm.
And they had to change my medicine a couple of times. It was making me sick. And one of the side effects does damage to your eyes.
Wow. Now,
So
now that's a diamond that you just dropped, because I think we as women, we do not listen to our bodies. Our bodies can be talking to us, screaming at us, and we won't respond
mhm.
until it's too late. And that same thing happened to me. You know, when I was going through all my stress, I could feel the tingling in my head. I could feel my body going through something, but I did not take the time to stop and take care of Jamie. And I think a lot of women, we just don't know how, and we don't listen because our bodies are always talking to us. And I like what you said, is to pay attention and recognize what's going on with your body, or how your body responds when you drink something, when you eat something, and all the above, because it can be, I think it can be a lifesaver. It can be life or death for a person if they're able to recognize what's going on, you
Yeah.
know? Wow, that's good. That's good, Mama D. Mm, I love it. I love it. So I wanted to talk about, so you mentioned earlier that you're losing your hair was way before it was popular for a woman to walk around being bald. What would you say? What are some things that we can do now that are game changers when it comes to welcoming women that are dealing with being bald? I mean, what are some things that are out there? I mean, I can name some things like now for myself is, social media, magazines, of course, we'll talk about that later, but videos. I mean, you don't see us, you don't see bald women enough on TV or anything. What do you say about all that?
Well, I'm not sure how I would have approached that. But what I do want to say is that no matter what, women have a problem complimenting other women.
Mm.
And I've noticed that through my years, and I'm quite old now.
You look good, however old, whatever your age is, you look good.
Thank you. But if you see a sister that has no hair, or maybe shaven hair, or could have hair all the way down to her behind, if she look nice, It doesn't hurt to say, sister, you look nice, you know? And the same thing, men go through the same thing. We got young brothers that losing their hair at 29 years old with alopecia, and younger than that. We got kids now, you know? You don't have to put on a wig to be beautiful, you know? That's one thing. It took me a long time to know that. So now I'm telling you, you don't have to wear a wig to be beautiful. Show it. Rock your crown.
I know.
That you bold.
Yes.
Be
I know.
strong.
Yes.
It's hard, but you can do it.
Yes.
And now
yes.
you got more women to support you doing that.
Yes. That's good. That's good. And you said something key. Sometimes women don't know how to compliment each other. And I think it comes from a place of what was instilled in us years way back, slavery time.
Mm-hmm.
We want to really go there. And so we were put against each other. You know what I'm saying? Light skin, dark skin, long hair, nappy hair, and all that. So I think there needs to be some healing that takes place in most women's lives so we can get healed. And once we're healed, then we're able to support and love on each other and celebrate each other's accomplishments and be able to tell another sister, you're beautiful. I like what you have on and all the above. But I think it starts with healing and recognizing that it's not right for us to, not support one another or not, or to tear each other down, calling each other, because I hear the videos and the music, sometimes we calling each other bees and hoes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, all that needs to stop.
It does. We need to stop tearing each other down. And I'm talking about black on black. We need to stop it. That's something that we need to stop. We need to try to come together, especially during this day and time right now. We need to come together. We need to be more loving and more kind, stop the violence, stop robbing one another. Just because one brother make 5 cents more than you don't mean you got to take his dime. Mm-hmm. Stop it. Y'all need to stop it.
Yes. Yes. You're right. You're right. You're right. And again, I think it goes back to being healed, having an understanding that we all can come up. But think about it, Mama D. I mean, you're more seasoned and you know what's happened, years and years ago. So when we get to the year 2000, I mean, we got a lot of work to do.
We still got a lot of work to do. Yes, we do. Yes,
we got a lot of work to do. So, wow. That's
and y'all better get out and vote.
Okay. Say that again. We better get out and vote.
And vote. Even though it ain't no whole bunch of people to choose from. We got 2 individuals. You're voting for the less of the evil.
Exactly, Mama D. We have to. Yeah. Please vote. I don't want, I hate hearing people say, I'm just not voting because I don't like neither part. You better vote.
For the lesser.
Yeah, because I tell you, you can't say nothing after the fact. After the fact.
I wish I could have and I should have, but you didn't. So do it now.
Exactly.
Do it early.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Do it
so
early.
You don't have to stand on no long line and make an excuse. I didn't want to stand on line. Okay.
I know that's right, Mama D. I know that's right. So, Mama D, let's talk about the magazine.
Oh, my God.
Life magazine. I have mine. Do you have yours? Oops, I got upside down. Let's talk about the magazine.
I found this very, very interesting because we got babies in here. We got babies, we got women, we got men, and it's telling stories. And they're from all over the world. It ain't about just New York or Seattle, Washington. We got kids in here from Africa and everywhere.
Yes.
Vanish.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Pick up your copy.
Yes.
Copy.
Pick up your copy. Pick up your copy. I think this is a game changer, Mama D. I think this
Yes.
magazine is a game changer because my whole purpose is if I can have one baby, even one, just one. I don't need to do a lot, just one, because one person can change a lot of lives. One baby, look at this magazine
Mm-hmm.
and see somebody that looks like them, and they can say, I'm beautiful enough to be in a magazine with no hair. I'm bald and I can be in a magazine. Yes, you're bald and you can be in the magazine. And that's the whole game changer for me.
Mm-hmm. When when I did the fashion show
Mm-hmm.
um, down in Maryland, we had one young sister. She must have been, I'm gonna say 9 or 10 at the time. And when her mother brought her in and her mother told her to take her hat off, she started bawling. She was crying. And I was like, baby, don't cry. I had a hat on too. I took my hat off. I said, your head look like this? And she looked at me and, from tears to see a smile on her face. I said, let me see, your head look like this? And she took her hat off. I said, see, we sisters. Come on, girl. We gonna get eyebrows and a little makeup. Come on. I'm gonna take you. And I took her and she got her makeup on and it just, you don't know, a smile just to say hello to a person could make them feel so much better. You could save a life with a smile.
I know that's right. You are so right. You can save a life with a
Mm-hmm.
smile, with a simple smile. And you said something earlier too when we talk about wigs. I tell people all the time, especially my babies, I say, even though we're bald, we have so many options. We can accessorize. Everything is an accessory. These
Mm-hmm.
earrings are an accessory. These eyelashes, the necklaces, the wigs, the hats, the head wraps, everything is an accessory. So
Yes.
when we understand and when we change the
Mm-hmm.
language on how we talk about what how we look and how we adorn ourselves, then I think it can ease the load for people. Let them know
Yeah.
it's just an accessory. If I
Yeah.
want to wear a wig, I can wear a wig. If I want to wear a hat, I can wear a hat. If I want to be bald and rock my crown just like this, I can choose to do that because I have options. How about that?
Mm-hmm. And that's it. My thing is because I had sores in my head when I got diagnosed, and I
Mm,
didn't mention this before. If I
okay.
wanted to wear a wig, I couldn't. The doctor even told me it's not a good thing for you to put a wig on because it will irritate what's going on in your scalp. So my suggestion is if you could put a cotton scarf on your head or a hat, make sure it's some cotton, something silky so it doesn't irritate your scalp. So that would in the beginning, I did wear hats.
Mm, okay.
Hats was a part of my accessory because I didn't it wasn't even about being bald. It was about the sores in my head that I didn't even want people to be like, ew, that's nasty. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
do.
I did cover up in the beginning.
Wow. But I think that's okay. Like you said, I mean, it's an accessory,
Mhm.
it's an option, and knowing what works for you, because everybody's journey is different. Some people
Right.
choose to wear a wig. Some people don't have to wear a wig. Some people have, the swords in their heads or whatever. But find out what works for you
Hmm.
and make your own self happy. Because at the end of the day, you have to look yourself in the mirror. And when you
Yes.
look yourself in the mirror, you have to like what you see,
See, for sure.
with or without the makeup, the accessories, and all of that. Because the healing starts on the inside
And it comes out.
and it comes out. Exactly. Wow. This was so fun, Mama D.
Yes.
This was
Thank
so
you.
fun. You are
I'm
so welcome.
appreciative. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. Did you have any closing remarks or anything else you want to say to our audience before we jump off of here?
I just want to thank Jamie for the opportunity to let me share my story with hopes that it will help somebody that's listening heal. You know, I hope I have been a blessing. I hope she has been a blessing, and she will continue to be a blessing to those in need. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I just appreciate your transparency. I appreciate you sharing your story, and I appreciate your heart.
Thank you.
You have a good heart, and you give back in so many ways. You're selfless. You know, you're not a selfish person. I just appreciate all the lives that you've touched, and all the babies, and you're a grandma, foster mom. I mean, it takes a special person to be a foster mom. So if you don't hear it from nobody else, remember the woman from Seattle, Washington said, thank you for being the mama to the mamaless.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a mother to those kids who don't have a mom. It takes a special woman.
Thank you.
So thank you
And I
so.
loved it. They
Mm,
all have, they all are good. They good.
mm.
Actually, they come in here tomorrow. Oh God.
How many you have tomorrow coming in?
um, I think only two of the foster kids are coming, and they're my kids, and then their mates and my grandbaby. My grandson is in Kansas. He played football, so he won't be here. Um, but yeah, friends and family.
Wow.
Tomorrow is game night.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Well, tell everybody I said hi. They don't know me, but tell them if they watch the video. Okay, if they watch the video, they'll get to know me a little bit.
Yes.
But
And
again,
we'll be in touch. This will
okay.
not be our last conversation.
No, it won't. Because you know what? I got to get to New York when all this is over.
Yep.
I want to come to New York. I've only been to New York one time, and I want to come and visit you, Alethea, and everybody on that side. I know so many people on the East Coast, and maybe I can plan an event. We can do an event or something like
That
that.
would
I
be
think that would
great.
be an amazing.
Yes.
That'll be good
Yes.
because I know a lot of people over there. We could do it. We could do it.
We
That'll
could
be
do it.
great. So thank you again, Mama D.
Thank
I got to
you.
give you a virtual hug.
Yes, and I got it. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
so
so
welcome.
much. Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. You
It
have a
was my
good
pleasure.
night.
You too.
It was
Thank
my pleasure. So you have a good night. And thank you all for joining us. And we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Let me see how to get out of here. There we go. So you guys have a good night.
Thank
And Mama
you.
D, I'm going to reach out to you as soon as we get off of here. Okay.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Bye,
Peace and love.
everybody.
Bye bye. Thank you.